Now, my sales journey started probably when I was about 22 years old, I think, and 23 actually. And I had a friend of mine that introduced me to a network marketing company. And that network marketing company, they sold actually tea, green tea. And I thought it was going to be great because in the green tea, they said that this had, 30 times the antioxidants of normal green tea. And I'm like, wow, everyone's going to want that. It's so much healthier for them. It gives them even more energy. I thought everyone would want to buy it. So I, signed up, become a distributor and gave this guy $500. Now, when I signed up, what I didn't realize is not everybody had the belief in the product that I did. So I started trying to sell it to friends of mine or people that I knew, and they were like, nah, sorry, don't want to do it. And I just didn't get anywhere. I even tried to sell it to my family, and my family didn't even want to buy any of it as well. So it was very tough for me. Then what happened was I had more of my journey. I was a school teacher and I was a personal trainer and doing other things. And then I got back into learning how the mind works and studying communication, influence, sales, and human behavior and change. And this is what I now teach, right? But my first tip that I wish that I knew would basically be working on my own self-belief and removing the fear of rejection. Because I believe you really get good at something by repetition. You have to be able to do it, over and over again. And there's books written on this where, they recommend the minimum time you spend on any skill to master it is 10,000 hours. But you won't spend enough hours trying to master sales if you don't get enough belief in yourself and if you don't remove the fear of rejection. So that would be for me, if you let go of the fear of rejection by just doing it anyway, right? And just knowing they're not saying no to you, they're saying no themselves, then, you're going to get a lot more no's and then you're going to learn a lot faster than someone who doesn't get as many no's. So you definitely need that. The second tip that I wish that I had was that I studied human psychology more. I've now spent $1 million on my mind studying why people do what they do, but you've got to know, what drives human behavior and, why do people, act and respond a certain way. And, an example of this is people might struggle to, trust you in what you have to have and what you offer them if they've had trust broken in the past, for example. And knowing that the brain, has three main functions. It deletes, it distorts, and generalizes. So generalizing means if someone's had one or two negative experiences, it generally comes up with a protective, global generalized belief so they don't experience that past pain again. So if they've bought products in the past and they didn't work or they had a negative experience, then that's one example of when they go to speak to you, they might be filtering you through that negative experience, right? That's just one brain function of generalization, right? Deletion, if the people delete possibilities, if they don't believe, that they can succeed, or if they don't believe your product works, they're going to delete that it's even possible. Distortion, people make up negative meanings about things based on their past experiences as well. And so knowing things like this and a lot more really helped me to understand why are people saying no, or why is this person not opening up to me, and it helped me to gain much more trust with people actually. The third tip was I would recommend for myself, I wish that I got trained by an expert. Success leaves clues. If you can find somebody who's really good at sales and they've mastered it and you go and work for them, that's what I did when I started out, you're going to learn off their mistakes a lot quicker. They're going to coach you through the mistakes. And I think that having a really immediate, consistent feedback loop is why you get better faster. And the fourth tip is just learning how to communicate. You must know, how to ask questions, how to do what I call chunk down and get the details on things that you need. You have to be able to, navigate the conversation where you want it to go. The brain has a need to avoid pain and gain pleasure. You have to know how to use that to your advantage as well. And so just learning how to communicate, learning about voice tonality, about using the right words, body language. 93% of what you communicate is actually done through your subconscious, through your tonality and your physiology is where it comes from, right? But so when I'm speaking to you, I'm talking to you, but I'm also communicating myself at the same time. And you say to yourself 1,500 words a minute, even while you're talking. And, if that is sabotaging or limiting, then there's no way I'm going to be able to influence you, right? And the fifth tip that I wish that I had is actually learning how to overcome objections. So if you hear things like, oh, I want to think about it, or I don't have the money, or I don't have the time, in most salespeople, they just buy their limitations. And there's only two things happening in a sale, either that, they buy your unlimitedness or you buy their limitations. And, early on, I used to just accept people's objections, but now I've learned how to really, do what's called, one of the things is isolate them. So if someone says, oh, I don't have the money, then, you can say to them, is it only the money that's holding you back? Or do you feel that you don't totally believe, that the product's going to work, or that you can succeed, or that you see enough value in it? Like, be honest. Because usually there's an objection, but there's an underlying objection. And that's why you need to isolate it and be able to go deep on those things. So I wish that I'd studied this, and I guess that's why you've got YouTube, or you can pay for courses. I've got a program as well. If you're looking for more information about how to master communication, influence, sales, and do these things, then there's going to be a link below that you can click on to book a call and find more information about that. And, we would love to show you how to master these things. But I hope you enjoyed this video and you got lots out of it. And let me know what you think in the comments, and give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe, because there's going to be a lot of value videos coming out. And I want to make sure that you are staying on top of what is the best knowledge.